Welcome, everyone, to the 6th video of this 84-part series. In this video, I'm going to talk about Australia. Australia is the country that I'm currently in, and I will be here for a significant amount of time. I'm going to share with you 3 things that I've observed about this land that is spiritually significant, and I think would be interesting to you, the viewer. Okay. Well, let's start with a very basic fact. A very basic fact about this land is that it's a gigantic island. It's a whole continent, really. But, you know, you can't really classify it as an island because it's so huge, or I guess you can, I don't know. But it is an island. It's not connected to any other parts of the globe. And because of this fact, because it's a ginormous, gigantic island, this causes people to feel really secure and safe here, which is a very valuable thing, especially when it comes to spirituality. Because as I've observed, the most valuable and important aspect that you have to have fundamentally down is safety. If you don't feel safe, forget about spiritual growth. And that is on all levels. You know, physically you have to feel safe, emotionally, mentally, whatever other aspects that you can feel safe in, you have to feel safe in order to fully turn your attention inwards. If you don't feel safe on a very fundamental and basic level, then naturally you can't investigate what's happening in your own mind. Or I should say, it's not easy to do so. It's not intuitive because other predators are out to get you. So your time is better focused on handling those situations. That's not always, of course. Buddhist monks meditate in the jungles, and the threat of being eaten alive by a tiger is always there. But I'm talking in a general sense. So safety. Safety is of primary importance. Another thing to note is that I was talking about this with my housemate here, is that this land has very little memory when it comes to human beings. Yes, of course, Australia has native Australians that have been here for thousands of years, incalculable amount of years. But when it comes to the modern man has not been here for a very long time. And because of that, the amount of bloodshed that this country has endured is relatively low. It is insignificant. Whereas a country like England or various other countries have endured massive amounts of bloodshed, and that stains the land, and the memory of that is in the soil. And if you think you're going to get away from that because of whatever, you live somewhere secluded or you live in a fancy house, you're not. It's not possible. You can't. You're always going to be influenced by the land that you're living in and your surroundings. So, like I said, the land here is very fresh, it's very new, it's untainted by mankind, and that has a sense of freshness and aliveness. So because this Australia is a gigantic island, and because this allows people to feel safe here, which naturally turns their attention inward. Pause that, I have to get that. Sorry about that. I hope you fast forwarded through this part. It was my neighbor was was giving the dog back. It's my roommate's dog. All right, so because this land feels safe, this naturally gives people the ability to focus inwards. And people here are much more in tune with their physical body than in the rest of the countries that I've been in and seen. They wouldn't say that they're spiritual, or this, maybe some people wouldn't even know what spirituality is, but they're much more grounded and rooted and physically centered in their physical structure, much more than in other places. So like I said, their ability to turn inward is much higher. There's a greater chance for that here. And the last part is that I see, how should I word this? There are a lot of spiritual people here. Again, I want to reiterate, much more than in other places that I've been to, in other countries. And I've traveled to most places in most continents. Again, most people wouldn't categorize themselves as spiritual, but they are spiritual. They're more in tune with their bodies, and they have a general sense of understanding what's going on in the grand scheme of things, because of the safety aspect and the parts that I mentioned before. Yes. There is a growing number of people who are awakening here, or I should say that most people, if not all people in Australia, have some level of conscious awareness. They're not sleeping like in most of the world. This is maybe the most spiritually advanced land that I've seen. Okay, and a bonus. I'll give you a bonus part for this video. A bonus is that the ocean water here is very unique. See, I've been to various countries in North America and South America and Asia, and I've visited multiple beaches, more than a dozen beaches in various countries. Some that are 5-star beaches, best of the best in the world, and some that are, mediocre. And the water generally has a certain quality about it in every location that you go to. And it's unremarkable. It's just whatever. It's just what it is. Whereas here, the quality of the water is peaceful. It is not out to get you. It is safe. It's calming and relaxing, almost inviting, although not quite. It has a certain quality of well-being and wellness, which is not like that in the rest of the world. Of course, it's not to say that, a shark is not going to kill you, or you're not going to die in the ocean, for sure. If you're unwise, you will. But strictly talking about the quality or the essence of the water. And it's very unique here. It's very positive, very beneficial. And anyone that gets to come here and experience it may be able to sense what I say here is true. Again, it takes sensitivity. So the ocean water is very peaceful. That's it.